So we've done the wardrobe in the last video, and now we want to give it some tone. At the moment the light's coming in brightly, as you can see on the side of the screen through the uncleaned windows. Thank you for showing that spare room. Wardrobe in the spare room. Where's the piece dropping on the floor, the mothballs? Where's the Lion, the Witch and the wardrobe? And now I want to tone this. Cast shadows are coming in one of the next videos. Now it's about putting the wardrobe in scene, and there's one important aspect. I'm gonna pay more attention to the wardrobe than to the surrounding area to show how you can put things together. So it will look differently than on the picture, because in the picture you can see this is the bright side and this is the shady side. Well, the first step would be normally to just tone the shadow. The wall is too undefined. So what we're looking for with hatching is a diagonal direction. We're not toning it. We're not adding the little bit of fake timber that IKEA has glued on the wardrobe. We just want to give it a side that makes the space more believable, more credible. And I'm dropping this thing, I'm taking it off the wardrobe now. It's just about the object, it's not about the floor, because I want to show you how you can keep an object together. The important thing is to not hatch side 1 and side 2, but to unite your object. It's important, even if you stick to black and white materials, even more important if you move to color pencils. So if you slightly tilt the pen, you take it far at the back, and you give it a really gentle hatching. Now, what you can hopefully see me do here is I take my pen far at the back. I don't put too much pressure on it, because I want to use the full tone range of any object, a drawing tool I use. As some of you might have seen, I'm quite fond of ballpoints, pens, and even there, if you take them, hold them far at the back, very little pressure and just a bit of scratching, you can produce a really gentle, nice, not texture but tone gradient to fill everything in. And as I mentioned, I'm going to stay slightly under an angle, turning my pen, if you're drawing with a pencil like this, turning it every now and then, because that way I sharpen my tip, and I give both sides the first layer of hatching, because that way I can make sure that in the end it will belong to one object. And you can see me like move all across the object gently to let it belong to one tone. I don't want dark spots, I don't want light spots in here. And one little tip: if you have to draw hatch a huge surface like this is, and you want to make the edges roughly clean, is you go back and forth, but you also, I'm going to exaggerate that now, you're varying the amplitude of your lines. It's like a bit like what do you call these earthquake measuring thingies, the little needles, that pendulums that show you how big the earthquake is, or how big the amplitude of the heartbeat is. I'm changing that, I'm varying that, because I'll always have this turning point somewhere. And if they overlap, I get a nasty shade on my drawing, and I don't want that. So I will have the turning points. I won't be able to avoid them. But by altering the stroke length, I can divide them across or spread them all over my object. And that way I can ensure that I still have homogeneous, equal surface to work on. And as I said, I do both sides at the same time because I want them to belong together. I don't want, if I do them side by side, I will never be able to ensure that it won't look like a wardrobe in two colours. And that's exactly what I don't want, obviously. Now, this all belongs together. It's quite clean. Of course, there will be some mistakes, some spots that are not perfect, imperfect. It would be nice to have a bit of this, suggestion of this mirror reflection also there. Just start with how far do we go? This is already the rim of my drawing, of my little door. So just for sake of spaciousness, to show it's a mirror. And I can also make this line from here, not from there, a bit thicker, because that is actually the reflection of the framing, thicker than the other ones. Now, this belongs to one space, as I said. That's the best way to ensure that objects belong together. Now, for the second layer, I'm going to slightly alter the angle, like going in a different direction. And I'm always going over the line. I know that most of you in school and grammar school have been severely chastised for drawing across the line. I remember when I was in kindergarten, we got points tucked off for getting across the line. Bad boy. It's actually not so bad. If you imagine, I'm going to make a little sketch here. If I had some box there, and I'm just scared of getting to the edges, then that's not a surface. That's a square with a dirty stain in the middle. I don't want dirty stains. I want this new shading to go all the way to, and if necessary, across the line. I can always make this line thicker and make it stronger. Now, I know you get the gist. I'm just going to finish this. So you can also see this at the point your stroke length slightly turns. You know you've reached the limits of what your hand can do, and that's something you don't have to accept. Your brains are in control of the drawing. So if you something go wrong or direction to alter, let's see that this line has gotten slightly stronger. So I have to work back up from there again and make sure I'm in control, my eye is in control of my drawing, not my arm. My arm is executing the orders my eyes are giving it. And that's actually, but just as a bit of extra information, that control I'm executing there, telling my arm to move where my eye tells it to, it's an excellent prevention against mental diseases in old age, like Alzheimer's or any sort of dementia, really. This, I see here, I need more contrast on this edge. And I don't want to do it just by the line. Now I'm going to try and stay in the gentle tonality of the side. Just here I want to go to my edge as accurately as I'm able to, standing up here, drawing sideways for you. Now slowly that edge comes to the front. This again would be getting too dark and would be forced to blend that in. So anything you see you're not happy with, probably I'm not going to be happy with either, and we'll spend a lot of time in your feedback wasted with commenting on how you have not managed to separate the surfaces and find all the little white spots that should be there, or the blending that hasn't been done properly. Now you see a couple of these dark spots. You can see my hand has gotten slightly dirty too. It's a bit like calluses you get when you're playing guitar. That happens when you take a soft pencil. There's two ways of preventing that. One is just like sticking, as I mentioned last time, or in one of the last videos, to one knuckle of your pinky. And the other would be if you're drawing on a sheet, just put a sheet of paper underneath that doesn't have the moisture and the fat of your hand and doesn't take off the graphite that's in your pencil and smear it all over again. But that would be it. It's not the nicest wardrobe I've done, but I hope to have presented you with a way to measure firstly, and then with a way to shape things. And this could get so much more contrast. I'm going to keep going with this. I've got the range, I've got the space to, and this will make the edge clearer. I've got the time, the patience, and the will. Put all the work in and make it stronger, because at the end of the day, you have to sell your drawings, and especially with drawings, if they're just outlines, nobody will be able to read them from a distance. And all this tonality will make them slowly come off the paper and be presenting themselves to people standing further away, and also lure them in. I mean, it's always one way luring people in by asking, letting them guess, well, what the fuck is that? What do I see there? You can't see shit. That's crap. And then come close. So that's one way, but that's not a good way. Better way is to make them go, wow, I want to see that. I see all the contrast that's gone in that. I want to look at the detail now. And then you got people looking at your drawing for more than one purpose, which is goal achieved, well done. You can work on the big image and the small one and do all of them justice and do your lecturers proud. But it's not about us, it's about your drawing. So this would be it for today. Thank you for your patience.